Good morning. How's it going? I thought I'd start, take a look at what's happening. This seems quite a poignant place to begin. A black Jewish man, Lenny Kravitz in all his glory, and America, the home of hate. So Melrose is actually cleaning up. There's people on the streets. There was a guy who was painting this wall this morning. There's guys who are covering up. Okay, there we go. Boarded up shops. And these are generally sort of small shops which are owned by individuals. This is the CVS where there was looting going on. People were running in and out. And the bizarre thing is, I mean, the cameras were, well, the police were up there. And of course, with facial recognition, with everything else in terms of the cameras, like they didn't realize, or they weren't aware, or they just didn't care that the whole thing was on camera. And they're going to get caught, so there will be some justice, which is obviously a controversial word right now. Over the road you've got more things being boarded up, and I mean, this is just bizarre. This is America, this is Los Angeles. I'm here on Melrose Avenue, again a very famous place if you remember the Melrose Avenue series. There's a guy over here just in front of me, and let's just sort of swing the camera around. Again, they're boarding up. Here are some signs. Can you see these? Let's just turn it around. So there is a recognition. Well, it's not just a recognition. There is support. And the reason I want to do this today, the reason I want to share this is to help us just kind of raise awareness. Good morning. Buenos dias. ¿Cómo está? How are you doing?
Great, and you?
I'm good, thank you. So, what do you think of the situation? What's your name, sir? Robert, what do you think of this all? And how many places have you been boarding up, Robert?
This is my boss's store right here.
This is your store?
What
do you think the police can do in terms of protecting the citizens?
Fucking, I don't know. Be equal, you know, like...
Equality?
Equality,
yeah.
type of shit.
Good morning, good, thanks. How are you?
I'm the owner of the store.
I'm trying to raise, I'm just trying to raise awareness of what's going on and show my friend. What's your name, sir?
Michael.
Where are you?
From Israel.
Okay.
Name
Ken. And how long have you had this place for?
The store since 1992.
Since 92?
Yes.
And how do you feel about this whole scenario?
Horrible.
Yeah?
Really horrible. It's really scary.
Absolutely.
Scary situation.
Where were you? Because it was Motzei Shabbat. Where were you Saturday night when this was happening?
We were actually at home. And then, nevertheless, we came and we saw what's happening here.
כן, אתם קרוב זה?
באזור פה, כן.
Okay, איפה?
By the Beverly Center.
You live over by the Beverly
Right there,
Center.
straight, yeah.
Yeah, man. Okay. Well, Michael, I wish you success, and I hope it opens for the good. How long do you think these boards are going to be up for?
God knows, with the corona and then on top of it the riot.
Sure.
I don't know if we'll be able to sustain the business. A business that's a business that's actually established since 1992.
1992 is the business, yeah.
I don't know if we'll be able to sustain this coronavirus and then the riot, and God knows what else is going to happen.
How long do you think you can sustain the business if it doesn't open? I mean, how long can you keep going?
Being honest with you, we're actually living off reserve by now. So,
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Okay, well, look, Hatzlach, our prayers are with
Thanks,
you.
thanks,
And
thanks.
what's your last name, Michael?
Amsalam.
Amsalam. And I'm Marcus Fried. Nice to meet you, Michael.
Nice to meet
okay,
you.
take care. Okay, so Unica on Melrose when it opens. This shop actually as well, premium. It's owned by an older Israeli couple. I mean, this is a city, it's a country made of immigrants, as you know. And I'm not joking when I say believe in the American dream and what's possible here. I mean, every country is different. Look over here. I mean, as he was saying, as Michael Amsalam was just saying, business was established in 1992, or that's actually ironic. That's when the LA riots were. Again, if you can see the boarded buildings, if you're just tuning in, we've got one after another. and they're painting them. I mean, again, it's a city with, in some ways, tremendous self-respect with the aesthetics. Let's just kind of swing around so you can see a bit more. Okay, so over the streets, again, boarded up. So the question is, or one question is, what can we do? One aspect is the protesting, and I wonder if we can think about other creative ways to protesting to communicate the message that voices have to be heard, that there has to be change. So look at this, smash buildings. Oh, here we go, this is ironic. A Zohar, the Jewish Book of Enlightenment, revealed around the 11th century by Moshe de Leon. Various views on who the Zohar was, just sitting on the side. You know, I'm going to put it back. Let's put it back. Hopefully, please God, it will bring some blessing. And there is a mezuzah up on it. And okay, we'll leave the Zohar down. That was not a plant. Again, rebel. These are great shops. So this is the Melrose shopping district I'm in. Behind me, if you kind of keep going, you're going to get more towards East LA. This is sort of the east direction. If you go in this direction, you're going to get to Beverly Hills. That's a couple of miles, 2 or 3 miles down the road. And for those who saw an earlier one of my films on Saturday night, this is the area, well, it's near here where the smoke was coming out of the building. Let's look over at Urban Outfitters. Again, not outfitting anyone at the moment. How are these businesses going to survive? As if the corona lockdown was not enough. I don't know if anyone's seen the film The Purge. It's a highly disturbing, highly engaging film about America being shut down, where they have these curfews overnight. And very bizarre, the last couple of nights where there was where we had a curfew. Certainly something I've never experienced. I don't know if anyone else has experienced, where if we could walk on the street, if we chose to walk on the streets, it was actually illegal. I mean, we could be fined, we could be prosecuted if we walked on the streets, taken away and locked up. Last week we were only going to be fined $1,000 if we walked on the streets of Beverly Hills, at least, without a mask. There are various different cities, different jurisdictions around here. So let's take a look now the other direction. So over here, when I can cross over the road, I'm very diligent about crossing roads these days. You know what, let's just stand behind. Okay, so the police have cordoned off an area. I'm going to see how close I can get. This area is where it was probably clearly a lot more devastation. Let's just turn around here. I'm going to check you can all hear me. Can you guys? You know things are bad in Los Angeles when you can't get cell reception. Good morning, officers. Thank you for what you're doing. So the Pearls. I'm not going to film you. Can I ask, this place, the Pearls over here, was this broken into today, or was that yesterday?
That was Saturday night.
That was Saturday night. And how come they, I'll turn the camera around on there. Okay, okay. How come the, sorry about, what I'm trying to do is just to raise awareness. So that was Saturday night, and how come it hasn't, been fixed yet over there?
So something inside, I'm not sure what, is still smoldering.
Okay,
so
it's still smoldering.
Keeping an eye on it to make sure it doesn't flare up.
Yeah.
Once they're satisfied that it's safe, then we got the people with the board up service. They're waiting in the wings, and they're going to come and board it up.
They're going to board it up. By the way, are you allowed to be on camera? What's the rules? I don't want to step.
No, I mean, I can't make any statements.
No. What are you? Sorry, what's your name, officer?
Sergeant Carbonell.
Sergeant Carbonell and Marcus Frieden. How long have you been in the force for?
17 years.
Gosh, and what do you think they can do? Like, how, I mean, I don't know no, you can't make a statement. You can't make a statement. I appreciate it. Hello, Officer Carter. Well, look, thank you very much for everything you're doing.
Oh, no problem, sir.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. You too. So, of course, we've got, I mean, look, the vast majority of the police force they are good guys. We need the police. Yesterday I was seeing these pretty ridiculous statements saying, defund the police, but can you imagine what it would look like. But let's try and not get political as much as we can. So one of the things I want to think about today is how we can protest, and creative ways we can protest. Like, what can we do? There are, as many friends keep pointing out, there is a distinction between the protesters and the looting. We're going to put aside the president's incredibly inflammatory statement about when the looting starts, the shooting starts. However, I want to think about, like, really what can we do as creatively as possible. Let's look at this scenario. How can we protest? I mean, would it work if we would start thinking about, if they're not already doing it, the protests happening online through extreme advertising, through extreme pushing over there on YouTube, over there on Facebook, through Twitter, through Instagram? What are the other ways that we can express this in a way that is going to be peaceful, seeing as one protest after another just turns into complete chaos? Because, look, ultimately we believe they're being sabotaged. People are being brought in from other cities. They're being brought in from other cities, and this is ironic. Okay, a Joker sign. Again, they've been painted up. I believe it really is a city with trying to maintain its self-respect as possible. They're painting over in Beverly Hills. They want to turn this around. They have to turn it around. It's also survival. As we just met before, the Israeli shop owner Michael Amsalem, and they're living off reserves. I mean, these immigrants, how are their businesses going to stay open? Well, I think this graffiti, there's kind of less graffiti than there was in Beverly Hills yesterday, but that's because they're just painting through the night. Smashed buildings, Urban Outfitters. Hey Zev, good morning. So for those who are watching on YouTube, this was originally a Facebook Live, boarded up. This is the aftermath. Good morning. This is the aftermath. 2 days after the riots, people are moving again. Here we go, mezuzah, the Jewish scroll for best blessing on the wall. It's quite a strong Jewish area as well, to some extent. You've got the hipsters, you've got the downtown Los Angeles Hollywood scene. I personally sort of drive down here relatively Hollywood to my movie group, or when I was performing in the Hollywood Free area. I love this street. I mean, I love Melrose, just the clothes, what's available, this sort of cutting edge art. Let's look at this. There we go. All right, I like that. Smile, it's contagious. If you haven't smiled today, let's find reasons to smile. So, what are some positive things that we can focus on? Well, I would say we can focus on alchemizing the energy. The role of the alchemist was, traditionally they would take a base metal and they would turn it into gold. One thing I learned from... So for some reason keep losing reception, which is strange. There's a problem when that happens in Los Angeles. It's very rare. I'm just by Melrose Place, or Melrose shopping district, and really exploring, just taking a look at this aftermath. All these boarded up places. These walls around here, these walls on the side, are usually, and frequently you'll see the hipsters, you'll see the tourists taking photos up against the walls. There's none of that on the streets today, obviously. There's people cleaning graffiti off of the walls, there's cleanups elsewhere going on around the city. The city has got to get back on its feet. Here's a guy, good morning. Hi, how's your store doing? Yeah, can I, I'm just trying to spread the word to friends. What's your name?
Natalia.
Natalia, me falta.
Natalia. Say it again?
Where are you from, Natalia?
Colombia.
Colombia. Where in Colombia?
Medellin.
Medellin. And is this your
This
store?
is my business, but like they destroy. Thank God they didn't do anything to us, but the stores here, there, like it's hard to tell today because a lot of the business that have the wood. You don't know if they already did the damage or they're just trying to protect.
Sure. I mean, obviously CVS and Urban Outfitters.
But yesterday morning was just. Did
I wasn't. I was over in Beverly Hills yesterday morning. What
It
did
was- it was
What did it look
terrible.
like over here?
It was very bad. Like those buildings over there got destroyed. Did you see them
The
already?
the whole buildings got destroyed.
It's sad, you know, like I understand and we support the cause because we, you know, like I am Latina, I know what
Sure,
it's to be,
sure.
you know, like frustrated about injustice, you know, where children are sleeping in a detention center, you know,
Yeah.
in the borders. But it's sad to see, you know, like small business owners have to deal with this, you know, just come and clean your windows because some of them, they didn't let them nothing.
Sure. Where were you on Saturday while this was happening?
I was here and I had to leave running.
You actually ran out of here.
We came because it was the first day that we're supposed to open the business.
Oh, you because when did permission come? When did you get permission to reopen the business?
Friday.
Oh my gosh! So this was the second
It
day, or
was
this is the first day?
for us
Okay.
to open curbside business because there's no business. You know, like we don't have anything to deliver to people in a car. We sell
Sure.
clothing. But that was the first day, and we only were here for a couple of hours, and then everybody started closing because the protest. There was 5 cars, police cars, like 5 blocks from here on fire.
5 cars, 5 Los Angeles Police Department squad
Yeah.
fires,
So
squads
we
on
had to go.
fire.
Everybody started closing, so we left. And then 3 hours later, I was watching the news, looking that building on fire. That building was looted. That building was looted. Window, you know, broken. This was a nightmare, American vintage. So I was just crying my eyes, watching my life's work about to be looted, and I was watching through a camera on a TV. You know, on a. cell
You're
phone.
watching. How long has your business been here? When did you begin?
6 years ago,
And when did you come over from Colombia?
2003.
Okay. Well, so what do you sell here?
Clothing.
What kind of clothing?
Just man, woman, contemporary.
Men's, women's. And I see you. So you've got a minority-owned.
Will you believe that I have to explain, you know, like that I feel like I have to validate that this is not, you know, they're thinking that by attacking, you know, like some of the business of like people from other races, you know, they will get them to understand their pain. I understand their pain, you know, like, and it's, and I don't know. I just feel like it's crazy that I had to write that. My daughter actually did it yesterday. And
So
I
let's
was
just.
very
I'm just going to
sad.
get the close-up. So minority-owned, Black Lives Matter. Well, look. Thank God your place is safe, Natalia.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
for
I wish you success.
Thank
Okay. Okay. I mean, my question is this. My question is, what can we do? Let's just turn this around so we can take a look. Like, what can we do? How can we bring about change? How can we bring about change and ultimately systematic change? Oh my gosh. So this place has been smashed open. Was there looting here, sir? Look, we got an empty, we got a smashed up building here. Well, there's boards which are going up here. Monopoly on the side. We love you. Stay strong. I mean, look at this. It's bloody horrible. Closed. Isn't that ironic? Yeah, we will return. Please call again. Fuck 12. Again, for those who haven't followed this is the 12 is relating to the police. I'm not going to step in the building, but look at this. I mean, it's real. It's real. Again, more photos. I mean, one thing which is very cool about, particularly Melrose, is you've got all these buildings, and then or you've got all these murals on the wall. I mean, it's still highly artistic. So many people come to Los Angeles with the dream, and with the dream of creating. Visual artists, performance artists, obviously. And it's also a city of broken dreams. So how can we bring systematic change? Can we do online protesting in terms of clever adverts getting out there, like getting to people where they can see it? There's another police car coming by here. I mean, that's a typical day in LA. Why is he heading? Who knows? Who knows why this guy is where he's going when he's heading straight towards the cordoned off area. Back to this question of systematic racism. I mean, one thing I've heard from black friends is, as a black man, you'll get called losing. As a black man, it's not a question in America if you're going to get pulled over by the police. The question is when you're going to get pulled over. I mean, why am I not pulled over by the police? Because I was born white. But as a Jew, it's certainly my responsibility to do something. The question is what to do. Please, maybe you can put it in the comments below. Maybe you can put it in the comments below what we can do. So let's look at this. Black Lives Matter. Justice for Floyd. An entire shop standing against systems of oppression. No question. However, another question is, of course we need to fight for justice. Of course Black Lives Matter. But the words in the organisation is statedly, is avowedly anti-Semitic. If you look at the BLM, basically the concept, for whatever reason, they've decided to single out one country and accuse that one country of genocide. Now there is I don't want to get sidetracked, but I do want to mention this because it seems to be part of the conversation. So there are obviously many countries in the world where there's human rights questionable practices, but they on their side, in their constitutional documents, and surprise, surprise, they are singling out Israel and accusing Jews of genocide. So guys, look, we've got the BLM, and this is the cause we need to fight for. But can we fight for the cause in a way which is not attacking Jews? So there appear to be two viruses. Virus number one, that's the anti-Semitism bit. Okay, that's important, but I want to focus on the bigger thing right now in contemporary. The bigger thing is the virus of hate and the virus of destruction against the African American community. And it's basically, it appears to be like the virus is anti-Semitism, and we've got a lot in common. But although the black community is under far more oppression, clearly, the virus of slavery, that deep ingrained in the founding of America. Lincoln had slaves in the founding of America. This kind of mutation of slavery, it kind of turned into segregation. So only 60 years ago there was segregation, awful. And now it's turned into black guys being stopped. You know, if you're an African American male, it will not be a question of if, it's going to be a question of when you're going to be pulled over. So what can we do? I've got very little idea right now, other than to ask the question. I'm here to raise awareness. I'm here to basically just keep asking the question. Yeah, we can get creative, but we can't do nothing. Look, as King Solomon said, there is a time for everything beneath the heavens. Time to throw stones, it's time to tear things down, and a time to build. Time to laugh, a time to cry, a time to rejoice, and a time to mourn, a time to weep. So I would suggest now is the time for weeping. Now is the time for mourning. Now is the time for crying. Next comes the time for tearing down. I'm not talking about this physically tearing down, but tearing down these institutionalized structures of racism against all communities, specifically the African American. And then after that, the time to build, rebuilding a new America. Here's a question. In terms of rebuilding, in terms of this idea, are you going to go my way, Mr. Kravitz? America, the home of hate. The home of hate. Well, can it be a home of love? Can it be a home of peace? Can it be a home of equality? A home of rights for all men and women and children, where we can eradicate this oppression, but rather than focus on the eradication, focus on the equality, focus on the positive message. Okay, enough of that. You don't need to hear another person preaching. This is Marcus Fried in Melrose District, 2 days after the riots, praying for peace. Let's raise a prayer. Let's do what we can for peace. Over and out.